You want me to tell Nick to make us go live, or?
There we go.
Oh no, we're back. We're live.
We're back. All right. So sorry about that. We're going to give about a minute and a half, for maybe not even that long. Josh, why don't you tell us your favorite Adam story?
He had this crazy assist to his brother one time. Crowd went absolutely insane. It was amazing.
My narrator.
All right.
The crowd did not go insane.
Oh, my bad. They
did not. It was
a low attended game, so the two people that went crazy, it was something.
Not just that, the three people in attendance probably didn't know what was going on because they thought they were a football school.
Two of the three were his mom and dad, so it's all good.
Yeah. So
hey, you asked if there was any other teams that could deservingly be a top seed. Not at their current resume, but they're close. Virginia has Duke, and if they take down number one, they've only got 3 total losses on the season. I mean, that's a team that could immediately vault themselves into a. Now, I don't think they're going to be favored, and I don't expect them to beat Duke. But if they do, now we're looking at a team that has a resume that could put them into that number 1 seed position.
Completely.
Yeah.
And Dom, did you listen to Keith Gill's interview on CBS the other day?
I did not. No, I need to go see that.
I mean, several times referenced top 4 teams and their quad 1 and quad 2 wins. Like, he kept coming back to that. And then any net top 20 wins they had. I felt like that was the theme. And I wondered, was that an insight into committee work? Are they just looking at quad 1s and 2s?
Yeah, that might be it.
All right. Well, folks, we are sorry for that abrupt interruption. This is technically Nick's account here. And whenever he exited, he did hit the end stream button instead of the exit button. We forgive him this time. If he does it again, we will chastise him and hang his underwear from the flagpole.
Disgrace him and his entire family.
All right. So we've got the big guys out of the way. We've heard Nick's draft overview. So let's move on and let's hear everybody else's. If you're new to the show, we drafted conferences, the mid-major conferences, all the non-P4 conferences, I should say. We drafted those amongst us, and we have a point system that we will put into place. And however many teams make it the furthest in the conference tournament, that's how many points you get. Winner gets some kind of something later on in the season. It's probably going to be a quarter or something. I don't know. Nice shiny quarter from the 1900s. Anyway, so let's get right into it. Josh, you drafted the Mountain West number 1 with your number 1 pick. What is up in the Mountain West?
Man, I was thinking 3 at the start, and I'm starting to wonder if they're going to be with 1 team left here at the end. Lenardi's latest has them with 2. Big game tonight, Utah State, San Diego State. That's a big one. I think everybody knows the stakes on that kind of game. If you're looking at all the net and the Ken Palms, Utah State, they're in, no doubt. After that, it's real sketchy. New Mexico's sitting at 43. San Diego State, 44 and 45. I'm just wondering, can San Diego State hang on to some of the past in committee membership mind and sneak in if they can make some noise in the Mountain West tournament? But right now, it's really a two-team show there. Utah State, New Mexico, who can pull it out? Boise State's an interesting, can they get hot at the right time and make some noise? But unfortunately, I'm thinking maybe Mountain West is looking at 2, maybe 1.
Yeah, and I made note doing our Player of the Week stuff with Boise State that they're actually not out of contention for a 4 seed in the Mountain West Conference tournament. They got to win out and get some help from other people, but they can still get that 4 seed and get that first round bye.
Mathematically alive, yep.
Yep.
And if they get the 5 seed, they'll get Air Force, which, I mean, nothing against the Air Force. I'd love that college, and the service academies probably more than anywhere, but it's Air Force, so.
Yeah. we had some good Air Force people on the show. We had Rick from Air Force, really knowledgeable of everything going on there too. But yeah, so I had the West Coast Conference as my number one pick, and thankful that Josh chose the Mountain West Conference instead of West Coast Conference, because it does look like the West Coast Conference might get 3 in. And there's a really outside shot at 4 should a bid thief hit, but I don't think that can happen unless the bid thief takes it away from Santa Clara in the championship. I think that's about the only way West Coast Conference gets 4 in. But the Zags forward Brandon Huff was named West Coast Conference Player of the Week, averaging 22 points and wins over San Francisco and Pacific. Santa Clara's Alan Graves earned Freshman of the Week. So there's a lot of good playmakers there. Gonzaga holds a 1-game lead over St. Mary's and Santa Clara heading into the final week of regular season. They face Portland tonight on senior. They face Portland tonight on senior night to avenge their 87-80 loss the night of our draft. When we drafted these conferences, I was all excited about getting West Coast Conference. Then I learned, the front runner loses to Portland. The Portland Pilots. Do they even have a basketball team?
Don't sleep on the Pilots now.
Gonzaga is up by 13 right now.
What was that, Josh?
Gonzaga's up by 13 with 3 minutes in the first half.
Well, there we go.
There you go.
Avenging at its finest. All right. Portland freshman guard phenom Joel Foxwell has set a few school records, including putting up 35 points in a loss versus Pepperdine and scoring 464 points as a freshman. He is 6th in the nation with 196 assists and leads all freshmen in the conference or in the country with 6.8 assists per game. Foxwell may already be heading to the portal if someone comes calling with the playmaking abilities he has. Scored 27 points in their win against Gonzaga before. And, looks like the Zags are doing a lot better job with him tonight. Huge game going on, obviously, right now between Santa Clara at St. Mary's. And, of course, the loser from that one is eliminated from the West Coast Conference regular season championship. So this one is really important. And, Josh, do you have that score up? I know you're probably looking at it.
Which, Gonzaga and Portland?
No, St. Mary's and Santa Clara.
I don't. Give me 1 second. I can tell you.
Yeah. I switched over to the ladies to see when Nick was going to join, and I forgot to switch back. We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming for this brief.
Santa Clara and St. Mary's hasn't started.
Oh, okay. So it's going on. I think it starts in like, an hour?
9 o'clock. Yep. 9 o'clock. Mountain West time.
Oh, so yeah. Mountain time? Okay.
Mountain time. Yep.
Yeah.
We got Mountain West. Yeah. Mountain, obviously.
Nice. So I'm not going to miss it yet.
You use the real time zones.
Yeah. Central.
We make up here. Listen, us Bronco fans, we make up our own stuff. Okay. We need some hope to hang on to.
All right. For Gonzaga, Graham Ike has scored at least 20 in 9 straight games and is 16th in the nation with 13 double-doubles. And Gonzaga clinches at least a share of the regular season title with a win tonight versus Portland, which it looks like they're well on their way of doing. And then there's a huge finale Saturday, Gonzaga at St. Mary's. Should St. Mary's win tonight, that game will be for the a share of the regular season title. Gonzaga wins that, they're outright regular season West Coast Conference champions. If St. Mary's wins it, they will share with Gonzaga, unless Gonzaga loses tonight. All right. The West Coast Conference Tournament kicks off March 5th through the 10th in Orleans Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. The top 2 seeds go directly to the semifinals. The Zags clinch at least the top 2 seed with a win over Portland and a 1 seed by win over Portland and St. Mary's. I believe St. Mary's clinches a 2 seed with a win over Santa Clara and a 1 seed with a win over Santa Clara and Gonzaga if Gonzaga loses tonight. Santa Clara clinches at least the 2 seed by winning out and a 1 seed by winning out and the Zags losing out. So Santa Clara can still win if the Pilots can pull off another upset, and St. Mary's doesn't either. So, yeah. But that's your West Coast Conference in a nutshell. Dominic, what's going on in the A10?
All right. A10, 14-team conference. All 14 teams will make their conference tournament. That's another one. There's a couple of ones that I've got that are in that situation. It'll go from March 11th to March 15th at PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, up there in Casey Wick territory. Well, kind of across the state, but, within about 3.5 hours from Casey Wick up there. We've got some games that went on tonight, but really those ones weren't going to matter for the top seed and who we think might make the tournament from this conference. So we'll go with those guys first. It's really going to be St. Louis or VCU. Dayton has an outside shot, but it's not a good one. They have a pretty much less than 1% chance that they're going to claim the first overall spot. Essentially, they'd have to win their last 3 games and hope that St. Louis and VCU pretty much don't win another game. So the likelihood of that is very slim. We're going to focus on St. Louis and VCU. St. Louis, the top seed right now, 97% likely to win this conference. I think you will see them win this conference. They are kind of being used as that automatic qualifier from the A10 as of right now, but VCU does have a small percent chance to take the conference title, and definitely a bigger chance once it becomes conference tournament time. As we know, some of that stuff can happen and get a little crazy. I think there's about 6 teams that are within about a game and a half of each other, all in the middle there. I just, besides those top 3 teams, I just don't know if I could see anybody going on a run within their own conference tournament. So I still think you're looking at the St. Louis, VCU, Dayton, teams as far as who's going to come out of this thing and earn the bid for this conference. It does seem to be, even with VCU having a pretty decent overall record, that this conference will be a 1-bid league this year. So it'll be interesting to see if somebody can do something late to change that. Shout out to, and I brought his name up here so I don't get it wrong, Trey Green from Charlotte, North Carolina, kind of close to me. Just a pretty good 3-point shooter, leading the Billikens in that regard, and having his highest career average in points per game this year. So I lean on St. Louis to get it done here.
All right.
Robbie Avila, that's my guy.
And Casey has the nation's best winning streak team in his conference, the Miami Redhawks. Casey, what's the MAC looking like?
It's looking pretty strong as far as mid-major goes. We obviously have, but the Miami Redhawks still undefeated, hanging on by the skin of their teeth in these games. But then you also have Akron and Kent State, who are making some legitimate, contention, even though their games, head-to-head against the top 25 haven't gone in their favor. But I mean, you got Akron sitting at 23-5, and Kent State sitting at 21-7. And then you have the tournament coming up beginning March 12th at the Rocket Arena there in Cleveland, Ohio. And they do it a little different. They only do the top 8. So we'll see how that shakes out and everything. But I think realistically, they could probably get 2 teams in with a potential for 3rd. I would say it depends how Kent State ends up finishing the year. But everybody's on multi-game winning streaks right now.
Nice. All right. And over in the AAC, Yates, what's going on over there?
It looks like that we are going with the order that was in the draft that I got screwed and had the last pick of. Thanks, ChatGPT. In the AAC, man, it's a really tight race right now. Mainly at 3 teams towards the top with South Florida, Tulsa, and Wichita State. Just all separated by a game and a half. With some pretty big implication games coming up. Memphis is going to be somebody's in that conference favorite team, because Memphis can pull some upsets like tomorrow if they beat Wichita State, then, Tulsa and South Florida sitting at the top of the conference are going to love that, because that's basically going to take them out of contention for the regular season title. And then going into next Sunday, Memphis, East Carolina, whatever. But the next Wednesday, or was it Wednesday? No, Thursday. Memphis has South Florida at Memphis. Okay, so that could be a team to watch. Is Memphis, not because they're going to win the conference, but because of how they can play spoiler. But right now, South Florida is sitting at the top. They have a very real chance of not just, they have an at-large chance, honestly. They're one of those teams that, as long as they don't have like a quad 3 or 4 loss coming down to the end of the season, they could pull an at-large bid with whoever wins that conference tournament, whether it's them or not. But I really like South Florida to still come out on top here. But Tulsa is another team to look out for. They've played some sneaky good basketball. Their schedule's not great, but they're also 23-6, so they've done what they're supposed to do against the teams. So, team to look out for.
Josh, before we get into your Southland, I'm noticing your whiteboard back there, and you got your little snowflake up there. You remind me of what's his name on ESPN in the
Woody Page.
Yeah, there it is, Woody Page. Thank you. You remind me of Woody Page.
Whether you like them or not, I'll take that. That's great. You got some Psalm scripture here, some homemade snowflakes there. Let's go, homeschool community.
All right.
Okay.
Tell us what's going on in the Southland, Josh.
Southland is very interesting. Really kind of a two-man race at this point. Good old Stephen F. Austin, McNeese. Interesting how SFA is actually leading the conference, but all the metrics show McNeese as the best team, and it's not really close. McNeese is 58 in the net, SFA is 88, so they got 30 spots on them. But it really comes down to those two teams at this point. For all you stat nerds out there, if you've ever looked into the Evan Maya data, very interesting, but it's showing that SFA positive opponent adjustment essentially, and it comes down to how they play against their competition. And SFA shows up against really good teams, and McNeese doesn't. So interesting that the metrics show McNeese so far ahead of them. Lumberjacks got 2 games left against the bottom teams in the conference. McNeese has a couple tough ones with New Orleans and Nichols, so tougher schedule. Probably going to be SFA, but this is one of these conferences that they let in 8 teams, but numbers 1 and 2 get double buys right into the semis. So 3 and 4, they're fighting for the next spots. New Orleans, they're in there. So it's just an interesting conference right now, but SFA, I think, is probably going to pull off the regular season title, and then we'll see between them and McNeese what happens in the tournament.
You mentioned Nichols. How are quarters, dimes, and pennies doing?
Their pennies are out. Pennies are just, it's like they don't matter anymore. And
No more copper.
They cost too much at this point, so they're gone.
Yeah. Yep. For those wondering about the Woody Page reference, he was on Around the Horn. This show's basically Around the Horn on steroids, except we don't keep score. So
They didn't keep score well in that game.
Yeah.
I did not understand the scorekeeping there, so we're good. We're good without it.
It was, when anyone made a good point. I think there were certain keywords that if they said, they got points for. That's how I understood it anyway. So, all right. The A-Sun was my second conference of choice. Austin Peay clinched at least a share of their first A-Sun regular season title with their 65-61 win over Jacksonville on Saturday. It's their first conference title since 2016 when they were in the Ohio Valley Conference. So I believe that one's yours, Yates. Thursday, Austin Peay, PA, I always say PA for whatever reason. That's what it looks like it should say. Overcame a 16-point deficit to beat North Florida in Jacksonville off a full court pass caught and shot by Anton Brookshire, not to be confused with the East Texas grocery chain, to win the game by 1. Cameron Oriole missed the front end of a technical free throw with 1 second left that allowed Austin Peay to get the go-ahead basket instead of the tying basket. So you got to wonder how that kid's going to be this week in practice. Probably not ever going to leave the charity stripe. The ASUN Conference is March 4th through the 8th. First round is on campus. Quarterfinals through the finals is in Jacksonville, Florida, with the top 4 receiving a bye. Austin Peay clinched the 1 seed with the win, or can clinch a 1 seed with a win over Central Arkansas. Central Arkansas has already clinched the top 4 and can clinch a 1 seed with a win over Austin Peay, and an Austin Peay loss to Bellarmine. Probably not going to happen. Queens has clinched the top 4 and can clinch a 2 seed by winning out at Eastern Kentucky and at Central Arkansas, and Central Arkansas losing out to Austin Peay and Queens. Lipscomb has clinched the top 4 seed and can reach as high as a 3 seed should Queens falter and the Bison keep winning. Key games on the 25th, you got Central Arkansas at Austin Peay. Austin Peay clinches regular season outright title and a 1 seed with a win. Central Arkansas keeps shared title and 1 seed hopes alive with a win. Queens at Central Arkansas on the 28th. This game could decide the 2 seed depending on what happens tonight. So, yeah, that game is actually on right now. The Central Arkansas Austin Peay. Let's go real quick. Where's my mouse? There it is. And of course, you're going to run slow. I got sidetracked and I didn't actually pull it up when I said that I was. So that's on me. Other key games, Austin Peay has Bellarmine at home on Senior Day on the 28th at 1 o'clock Central. It's a must-win for Austin Peay. If they lose to Central Arkansas tonight, 2 seeds awaits them otherwise. So basically, Austin Peay's got to win 1 of their last 2, and they will be first place. So let's
Sam,
go.
Austin Peay is up by 8 with 15 minutes to go.
There we go. All right. I was just about there too. So you beat me to it. Good on you.
There you
go. All right. So that's it. Comes down to 3 teams for the, or 3 teams for the, 2 teams for the conference championship, and 4 teams have already clinched the top 4 spots in Central Arkansas, Austin Peay, and Queens, and what's the other one? I had it here. Central Arkansas, Austin Peay, Queens. There's another one. I must have deleted it for something else. Lipscomb. There it is. Ha! I didn't delete it. Anyway, that's that. Dom, what's in the Colonial?
Colonial. Excuse me. Coastal. Remember, we're not doing the Colonial. That's not allowed.
We don't do that.
You're not allowed to be patriotic here. Can't.
Yeah, don't touch my statues.
Yet another tournament where all of the teams in the conference make the conference tournament. I don't know where people fall on that. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I think it's fine if you make the teams that are at the bottom have to work really hard to possibly win this. I don't like that you reward everyone to get a shot when you're just wasting some time. However, most of these tournaments do it the right way and give their best teams the buys till the later round so that they don't have to deal with anything like the team that has to run through the whole week to get to the end of the weekend. CAA is just like that. All 13 teams make it. This conference tournament is held March 6th through 10th at Care First Arena in Washington, D.C. So these are some smaller schools that are going to get a chance to play in a big city for their conference tournament. Again, as we talked about last week and we've talked about before, UNCW and College of Charleston were kind of always the favorites to win this conference. UNCW has 3 games left. Charleston only has 2. They do play each other in one of those games. But UNCW plays a week, NC-A&T and Elon. Those 2 teams are sitting at the 2nd and 3rd worst positions in this conference. Because of that, UNCW has a 99% chance to take the regular season conference championship, even with a loss to College of Charleston, because they only have 2 games remaining. So they can't make up as much ground as they would need to jump Wilmington. So expect to see the Seahawks of UNCW as the team from the CAA that will make college basketball's bigger tournament. I don't think, let me see if I think I double checked to see if there was, I don't think there's a two bid league here. No, this is not looking as a 2-bid league, even with Charleston having a pretty decent season overall. Once again, just like the A10, you've got about 5 or 6 teams in the middle there that can all jostle around very well before we get to tournament time here. So we will have to see where all the remaining seeds go. But again, I'm looking at UNCW or Charleston to be the only 2 teams that are possible to come out of the CAA. For a player to watch for UNCW, that's 7'1", 250-pound Patrick Wessler from Matthews, North Carolina, averaging his highest career total in points, just like Trey Green that we talked about earlier. But he's also, because of that 7'1" stature, a rebounding machine. So he's going to be a presence both offensively and defensively come tournament time for the Seahawks of UNCW. I just expect them to make it. But again, Charleston has an outside shot to upset them come tournament time and maybe get CFC into this tournament instead.
All right. Heading on over to the Big South with Casey. What's going on with the Big South? You're muted, Casey.
Muted myself twice. I was afraid of coughing in everybody else's ear. So they're in decent standing there. You got the High Point Panthers at 26-4, along with Winthrop at 20-9. Potentially both be able to make the dance, but Winthrop historically has been the championship team there. They've won it, I believe it's 13 times they've won the Big South. You got the men's basketball tournament there coming up March 4th to the 8th there in Johnson City, Tennessee at the Freedom Hall Civic Center. I'm actually thinking that High Point might end up losing to Winthrop in the championship game, and that could just make it a one team into the dance, but we'll see. I'm holding out hope that I can get 2 in.
I
like it.
I don't think you're getting 2 out of the Big South.
I don't think so either, but hey, a man can hope. And after watching my Irish get their butts kicked, I could use a little bit.
All right, let's go to the Missouri Valley. Yates, what's going on over there in that?
Belmont's going on over there. Belmont's wrapped up the regular season title. They did that. They did that last game, but tonight they went ahead and secured their place with a good 34-point win over Evansville. But next up in that league would be the Racers out there at Murray State. But the way this conference lines up, man, like you're getting 1 bid, unless Murray State runs the table. They win their next, I think they only have 1 more game, and then they're in their conference tournament after that because it's March 5th through the 8th. They win that, and then they go on a good run, and they win the Missouri Valley tournament in dominant fashion. Then I think you can get Belmont with an at-large with that 26-4 overall record. Their problem is they haven't played a quad 1 game yet. Haven't played one single quad 1 game. It's all been quad 2, but they are 5-1 in quad 2. Okay, so I think they can sneak an at-large bid if they get to their conference tournament. And if Murray State wins that by double digits, obviously they'd be in. But if they're not doing that, like if they lose by double digits in that conference tournament, I don't think they even make it then. So it's going to be Belmont for sure, and then somebody else can sneak in.
All right. Yeah, I think Belmont would have to lose a close one in the conference championship in order to get in as an at-large.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was thinking on the flip side, if Murray State gets, blown out, they're not going in.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
This dang
Josh
8
over
point got me.
Let's go to Josh on the Big Sky.
Big Sky. Really interesting for us Northwesterners. I don't know about the rest of the country, but Portland State, they pretty much have it locked up. They need a win or Montana State or Eastern Washington to lose, and they will seal up the the Big Sky's regular season. Interesting about this conference, they have 6 teams separated by 2 games for the number 2 seed. So there is a lot of crazy stuff to happen in a week's worth of basketball. Montana State and Eastern Washington are kind of the next 2 up. This is, again, a conference where the top 2 teams get a bye. So interesting to see how that plays out with Eastern Washington and Montana. Portland State has struggled with Montana and Eastern Washington this year, so I know they're hoping to not have to see either of them until potentially the finals, but it's likely that they're going to have to face one of those 2 teams as a 4 seed or a 5 seed in the second round, but we'll see how that plays out. Portland State has a kid that played at La Tech a couple years, Terry Mills Jr. Crazy. He's one of these traditional old big men, 6'8", 260 pounds. We don't see him built like that usually anymore, so he's just kind of fun to watch him bang down low and get double teamed and still be able to take on that kind of physical aspect of his game. So Portland State's probably going to get this one. I would assume they win the tournament. Big Sky is definitely just a 1-bid league.
All right. Over in the horizon, you got Robert Morris on fire right now. They took down Wright State 81-68, sweeping the season series. Currently on a 5-game win streak. Even in the loss, their loss against Robert Morris, Wright State clinched at least a share of the regular season title and can clinch outright season title with a win over Purdue, Fort Wayne, or Northern Kentucky, the last 2 games of the season. Green Bay's Doug Gottlieb served his 1-game suspension while his team didn't let the system ruin what they have going for them. They beat Oakland 73-68 last week, so the suspension did not hurt Green Bay. The tournament kicks off March 2nd, my brother's birthday, late brother's birthday, the 2nd through the 10th, on campus for the play-in in the first round, and then they move to Corteva Coliseum in Indianapolis for the final rounds of the tournament. This year, the Horizon has a new tournament format where they reseed after every round, so it's always guaranteed the top seed plays the bottom seed. Wright State can clinch 1 seed by winning one of their final 2 games, or a Robert Morris, Detroit Mercer, and Oakland loss. They can win there as well. Robert Morris clinches at least a 2 seed by winning out at Detroit Mercer, which they did tonight, I believe. Yes, they won 73-62. So they got the first one in. And they'll clinch at least a 2 seed by winning out. Oakland can clinch a 2 seed by winning out and Robert Morris losing one of their final 2. And Oakland did win tonight over IU Indy 86-74. We already talked about, or no, we didn't. Detroit Mercer at Robert Morris, the 2-seed elimination game, and Detroit Mercer did lose 73-62. We did talk about that. So Detroit Mercer is eliminated from 2-seed contention. And Wright State at Purdue Fort Wayne. They clinch outright regular season title and the 1 seed with the win. And Wright State did win 74-70. So Wright State is your regular season Horizon Conference champions and a 1 seed in the tournament. Oakland is eliminated from 2-seed contention with a loss. They won, so they are still in 2-seed contention. And you got Cleveland State at Robert Morris. A Robert Morris win can all but clinch a 2-seed with a win here, depending on Wednesday's results. Wright State at Northern, and that's Saturday. I have to go back and look in there. But I think Robert Morris is well on their way to clinching a 2 seed because Cleveland State isn't that great. Well, they lost to Northern Kentucky tonight, 81-70. Wright State at Northern Kentucky. Wright State lost tonight, so this game isn't as important, but it would have been a must-win had they lost tonight if they wanted to keep their regular season title and 1 seed hopes alive. But that game doesn't matter anymore. Now, Dominic, we have some interesting news going on in the Sun Belt. What's going on over there?
Yeah, I don't know anything about this conference, guys. No. Yeah, we got some interesting stuff. A quote, and I'll give it to Brett Strelo. He reports for App State, but he's asking how insane it is that the first place in this conference comes down to like 6 teams here in the last week of the season, but that finisher will only finish about 700 on the year. So the last time this happened was in 2019. And 3 conferences had a race that were similar for their best team to be sent to the tournament with not that impressive of a record overall. That included the Metro Atlantic, the Missouri Valley, and the Northeast Conference. So just one little crazy stat here. The best team in this conference would finish with 12 wins and 6 losses. So they're not really going to blow anybody away. However, like I said, we've got 6 teams that could finish from 1 to 6, and it's all going to come down to this last day of games on Friday. There is a game going on currently right now with South Alabama and UL Monroe. That game was going to see if South Alabama would stay in this race. They were always heavily favored because ULM has won exactly 4 basketball games all season, only 2 of those against Division I opponents. So South Alabama is winning that game 82-54, and there's only about 2 minutes left. So they will cruise to their 11th win, putting them in a 4-way tie for number 1 at the moment with Marshall, Troy, App State, and themselves, the South Alabama Jaguars. Still in contention is also Arkansas State, Coastal Carolina, and Texas State. Texas State is that cutoff line, that 6th spot right now. They play App State, who's currently towards the top as well. In that same aspect, that game is in San Marcos, where Texas State has only lost 1 home game all season. So probably Bobcats going to be seen as the favorite there, although App State plays a pretty strong defensive game. So does South Alabama. To note a weird stat for those 2 teams, towards the top of this conference, App State 14th out of 14 for free throw percentage. South Alabama 13th out of 14th. So these 2 teams are up towards the top of this conference while being terrible from the free throw or the charity stripe. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but this one's going to come down to the wire. No one, not a single team, has a better than 50% chance to finish number 1 in this current situation. So it's going to come down to that last games on Friday night. It's going to be a race to the finish. This conference tournament is March 3rd through 9th in Pensacola, Florida. A nice little destination place for a basketball tournament. Not always that well attended, but there'll be some teams that are really, I mean, you could literally flip a coin. I have no idea. It's a 1-bid league, undoubtedly. Who's coming out of it? No clue in the world. Obviously, I'm wearing my colors and representing tonight, but I haven't got a clue who I'd put money on or tell you is a safe bet, because all of them could falter or all of them could get hot, and you just don't know who is going to come out of this tournament.
Technical difficulties. That, or he's doing a great job of being still.
Red light, green light champion.
I will say this. As long as it's App State and they play Michigan and win a 1 versus 16, it's poetic justice at this point.
That would be sweet.
All right. Well, let's move on to Conference USA. And when Dom gets back, if he wants to continue what he's got, we'll let him do that. But let's move on to Conference USA for Casey. What you got over there?
All right. Well, we got the Liberty Flames leading the conference there by a 4-game lead. So I don't see them losing control of the 1 seed going into the tournament on the 10th. So it's pretty much down to them and Sam Houston as far as the best 2 teams in the conference. Sam Houston's on a 3-game streak. Liberty just lost badly to Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. I believe it was 20-point game there. Yeah, 94-73. So not a good look there going into clutch time. But yeah, I think they're going to get one team in. It's probably either going to be Liberty or if somehow, some way, Sam Houston beats them in the conference game there, they'll get one team in.
All right. Let's see.
I think we're in the Big West.
We are Yates
That's
in the
neat.
Big West.
Yeah. So, fun thing about the Big West here is all of their teams are in California except for Hawaii, and they're playing their conference tournament in Nevada, which makes a ton of sense to me. But that is going to be March 11th through the 14th there in Henderson, Nevada. Much like what we got out of the Sun Belt is what you're getting out of the Big West. We've got UC Irvine conference records 11-5, Hawaii 11-5, Cal State Northridge 11-5, UC Davis 10-7, Cal State Fullerton 10-7, Santa Barbara 10-7, San Diego 9-7. You have got the top 7 teams all within 2.5 games of each other. That is a wild time to be, to have right now. And UC Irvine right now has the best chance to finish one in the regular season standings with their 30%. That's the top percentage to finish first right now. This race 1 through 7. 2.5 games can get wild. The biggest matchup to watch is tomorrow night, though. You're going to get UC Irvine going to Cal State Northridge. Winner of this one is going to be obviously top in the conference, with the loser going into a distinct third. Okay, so now you're going from a 3-team top to a 2-team top. Here's a fun fact about Cal State Northridge. NBA great old Cavaliers point guard Larry Hughes. Larry Hughes Jr. plays in Cal State Northridge, and he's averaging around 18 points a game right now, 18.2. He's doing really well. And the guy that gets UC Irvine going is last year's freshman of the year that's now a sophomore, Jurian Dixon. He's averaging 15.6 points a game. But it's, here's some coach speak for you. It's the intangibles that he's got, the stuff that don't show up on the stat sheet, man. But he does a lot. He's a leader for that team, just with what he did and then coming back, not getting poached for an offer somewhere. So they go kind of as he goes. And that's where the other guy kind of gets all his points. It's going to be one bid here because even back in the standings, Hawaii right now is 19-7 overall. So they have over 70% win percentage. Everybody else is below that.
Yeah.
You're getting one team. You better hope it's you. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. Be good at the tournament. It's all that matters at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Dominic, do you have anything else to add to the end of your Sun Belt spill, or were you all but done?
No, I was just there's a lot of players on a lot of these different teams. It's kind of like the teams in general. There's a lot of guys that can get stuff done, that can take over a game. But that was about the only other thing I was going to add.
Dom, I don't know if you have any allegiance or any care about Joe Lunardi, but he does have App State in from that conference, playing Duke in the first round. And you send me some App State gear, and I will wear it proudly when they play them.
There we go. Yeah, and if it does happen in Greenville, South Carolina, which is apparently the first round site, I will be finding my way there. There's no doubt about it. The other regional, if they were to somehow beat Duke, if they even play, is in Washington, D.C., also another drivable thing for me. So if a miracle happens, I will be in attendance. But again, Flip a coin about who's kicking this Sun Belt.
Listen, App State, Michigan vibes. I'm feeling it. Let's go.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Here
All
for
right,
upsets. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Josh, the Ohio Valley, what you got over there?
This is not quite as jam-packed at the top as the Sun Belt or the Big West, but there are 4 teams within 2 games sitting at the top. Morehead State is leading by a half a game, but you got Tennessee State within a game. You've got SIU Edwardsville right in there, Southeast Missouri State. There's a lot of stuff going on in the top 4. UT Martin sitting in there. All of them pretty much play each other in the next week. So much to be handled in this conference. Likely going to be Morehead State. They only have 1 game left against Little Rock, who's 11-18. And Morehead's one of those teams that seems to always be in the tournament discussion. We see them pop up as a 13 through 16 seed somewhere in there, and they hang tight for a half, and then it ends for them. But this conference is also a double bye for the 1st and 2nd seed. So that's just such a huge thing to get 2 nights off. And kind of like Dom was saying, it's nice to see them force the lower teams to have to play the first couple days, give those top 2 teams a little bit of a break, prevent some injuries, prevent some wear and tear going into the tournament. I think that's kind of a big conversation in all conferences right now, is how do you protect your top teams going into the big tournament, whether it's college football or basketball, to give them fresh legs and a shot at maybe pulling off the UMBC type upset that we all hope for every year. So Morehead State coming out of this one is the most likely scenario.
All right. Nice. We had some good games in the MAC this year. Love it. The Mid-American Athletic Conference. Merrimack clinched the regular season championship and the #1 overall seed in the MAC tournament with a overtime win over Siena and a 2 overtime thriller over Iona. Fun fact about that game, both Iona and Merrimack were coming off of overtime wins and playing in an overtime game. This one, CJ Anthony did everything he could for Iona to get the win, including a 3 with 2 seconds left to send the game to overtime. Luke Jungers fouled Andres Moreo on a 3-point attempt. Moreo made all 3 for the Warriors to send the game to 2 overtimes. Merrimack fouled up 3. Merrimack was up 3 with 2 seconds left in 2 overtime, forcing Lamon, I can't say that name, into intentionally miss. Let's try that again. Merrimack was up 3 with 2 seconds left in 2 overtime, and Lamon I think I have a typo there. He intentionally missed the back end of a free throw to try and get another shot off. It was a great game. It fell short. Heartbreaking loss for the Gales, who fought back. They were down 15 to send the game to overtime and had a 6-point lead in overtime, the first overtime, before Merrimack stormed back to send it to 2 overtimes. And Merrimack remains perfect at home this season, clinched the #1 seed and the regular season championship. Kever Kennedy appears to have cemented himself as MAC Player of the Year, following his 20-point and 7-assist game versus Iona. Siena, St. Peter's, and Marist are all battling for a 2 seed. St. Peter's holds the current tiebreaker with a win over Merrimack earlier this season. The MAC tournament kicks off March 5th through the 10th at the Jim Whelan Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Tonight you've got, all these games are on Friday. You got Siena at Fairfield. It's a must-win for Siena to keep their 2-seed hopes alive. Manhattan at St. Peter's, also a must-win for St. Peter's to keep 2-seed hopes alive. And then on Sunday, you have St. Peter's at Marist. Must-win for both teams to keep their 2 seeds hopes alive. And then Ryder at Siena, a must-win for Siena to keep their hopes alive. Those games are both at 1 o'clock on Sunday. There are too many variables on this to be able to lay out exact clinching scenarios. The conference may go deep into its tiebreaker rules to decide the 2 seed if the perfect storm happens this weekend. So I'm not even going to try and justify getting into it because, too many variables going to go on, depending on what happens on Friday. If they were playing tonight, yeah, maybe I might get into it, but they're not. Dom, what's going on in the SoCon?
SoCon, well, this one's nice and easy. East Tennessee State has clinched the number 1 seed. So it's the only one that I've got that is fully decided and ready to move on to the tournament with ETSU number 1. They did lose to the Wofford Terriers tonight. And I think I still have that score up here. Yes, the score was 72-69. So a close one. But Wofford jumps Mercer. Mercer lost tonight. Wofford wins. They swap the 2 and 3 spot. So you've got more of a question of who's going to be in that 2 to 4 spot. But Wofford looks to be pretty self-assured into that 2 seed now at a 94% with just 1 game left because they play the Citadel, who is second to last currently in the SoCon. They are going to play their conference tournament in Asheville, North Carolina, and that one is from March 6th through 9th. And all 10 teams here also make the tournament. So again, another conference who's going to let everybody in. Everybody gets a participation trophy. You're all accepted, no matter who you are. But yeah, I think you're going to see East Tennessee State very likely come out of here, but there is a chance with Wofford having just beat them that they could do it again come tournament time. I'm not sure if anybody else has got what is necessary. You got a lot of teams hovering just over that 500 mark. I just don't know if you can trust them come the time when you really, really need to. Player to watch for ETSU, if you're going to see them in the tournament, is Cam Morris III. He's a senior, 6'8", 205 from Alabama. He plays really well for them defensively, also averaging 14.4 points per game. ETSU has got a little bit of a history of being a pretty good basketball program. So them at Wofford has had some years here lately. I'd expect one of those 2 teams to come out, but my money would be on ETSU.
All right. Casey, what's going on over there in the Patriot?
Well, about the most patriotic thing that you could ever think, with Navy leading the conference, and they clinched it. They played Colgate, and then the season's over for them until tourney time. So hopefully they can handle business and make it into the tournament, because it's going to be pretty cool to see, a service academy make a run at the NCAA tournament. Doesn't happen very often. But they're actually not too bad. I mean, they're on a 12-game streak.
Fitting that happens America 250. Navy makes it in.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right.
Still a conspiracy.
If Navy wins the national championship, I will support that theory 100%.
Oh, no, that'd be 100% a fact.
Fake news. Fake news.
Speaking of facts, why is Yale going to make the tournament, Gates?
Because everyone else is awful. Yeah, but when we get to the Ivy League, conference tournament in on the campus of Cornell University, March 14th through the 15th, the beauty of that tournament, and I know Dom's going to love that 4 teams.
Yeah.
4 teams make that conference tournament, right? You got 8 in the conference, and they're like, you don't get in the top 4, you don't get a chance. Go home. All right. And that is why there are some upcoming games that have some very big implications. Because right now in that 3 through, it looks like the 5th spot, we have Pennsylvania's at 6 and 5, Dartmouth's at 5 and 6, Cornell's at 5 and 6. Outside of that, Columbia's 4 and 7. I don't think they're going to go anywhere else. But Cornell has a chance for an upset of Yale, because their season's not done now. They have to fight for something else. So if they can beat Yale, now Harvard and Yale are tied again atop the conference. What I'm saying is Yale controls their destiny and they're going to win it. Just wanted to say that in a roundabout way. But that's the only team that's going to the NCAA tournament in this league. No other team is, unless there's an upset. Then that team goes and Yale doesn't. This is one team's getting here.
Is that how it works? If there's an upset?
I'm saying, even if there's a close, Yale loses the close one, no at-large bid is happening for you, buddy. Sorry, not happening.
All right, now let's get into our supplemental picks for the three,
Yes.
the bottom three, the three that ChatGPT said, screw y'all. You
Yeah,
ain't
and
getting-
I was still the last of that.
yeah. Dominic, the American East. What's going on over there?
Yeah, American East still up for grabs. We've got a team in UMBC currently sitting in first place with an 83% chance to take this one, probably pretty likely. But you've still got Vermont and New Jersey Institute of Technology, which is also, South Harmon Institute of Technology. I think they're sister schools or something like that. But yeah, UMBC is the team that we know from past tournaments and see what they can do. This one is March 7th through 14th. So this one starts a little bit sooner and goes 7 days. This is the worst name for a conference tournament, but I understand it. It's sponsored by the U.S. Air Force. So this is called the 2026 Air Force Reserve American East Men's Basketball Playoffs. It's an incredibly long
Way too
name.
long of a name.
But yeah, yeah, exactly. Make it simple. Just call it the American East Basketball Tournament. But yeah, you've got those three teams that really anybody's going to take it out of those three. I don't think there's a clear front runner. If I had to take a shot at one, though, I really like a kid that we've got over here at Vermont, named Gus Yalden. He's a sophomore, 6'9", over 250 pounds from Appleton, Wisconsin. This kid went from scoring less than 2 points a game per average last year to scoring over 16 this year. So this kid is a monster. I'm sure it's a lot to do with playing time last year, but regardless, he's playing a lot and contributing a lot. So I'm putting a flyer out for Vermont, even though right now they're in second place in this conference and not likely to take the regular season championship. But I think this is a team that come tournament time in the conference here, we could be seeing up there in the championship game with a great chance to take it in the end.
All right. And over in the MEAC, Casey, who's going over there? You're muted.
Right now, it's just tossed up between Morgan State and Howard, but they actually have a bunch of teams within 3 games, and most of the teams have 3 games left on the schedule. I'm still liking Howard to pull it out, even though they're tied with Morgan State at the conference record. But I mean, Howard's the only team that has a chance to have a winning record and win the conference. Everybody else is just holding on.
All right, Yates. Let's send this one home. What's going on in the SWAC, and how many are they getting in?
SWAC obviously stands for Sleeper Conference. This is the conference that's going to give us our national champion. Here's what we know in the conference right now. Okay, one place has really been sewn up. Actually, 2 of them. The Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils have wrapped up 12th place. They are sitting in last with their 2-27 overall record, 1-14 in conference. Okay, I say that to say this: Bethune-Cookman's first in their conference tournament. And Dominic's going to love this one, but all 12 teams make the conference tournament.
So what you're saying is there's a chance.
There's a chance.
Everybody basically gets a double bye. 10 and 11 have to play to go play the 8 seed. 9 and 12 have to play to go play the 7 seed. And then those 2 teams have to play to go and play 1 and 2. And then the rest of it starts. So if you're in that 9 through 12 spot, you have to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in 5 days to win that conference championship. And that is not easy.
Let's go.
All those teams will be out. But Bethune-Cookman's going to win the thing. They control their destiny for the regular season title. And the way they played this year and just kind of dominated the conference. I don't see anybody else taking it. If they do, then I guess hats off to them, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Now back to my original analysis there. If they lose, another team wins. Analysis.
Well, doing a quick rundown, it looks like Gonzaga is going to exact their revenge on Portland Pilots. They are up.
There's still time.
64-36 with 8 minutes to play. Alabama all over Mississippi State, 82-53. Alabama surging and could find themselves as a 4 seed by the time the season's ending, as well as Arkansas, who is rolling on A&M right now, 52-37 with 14 minutes to play there. But if Yates knows anything, it's that Arkansas can, and well, they're at home, so never mind. They'll win.
Oh no, they're at home. They're going to win this one. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would always think that we're going to lose. Always.
Elsewhere in the top 25, Florida beat Texas today 84-71. Vanderbilt beat Georgia 88-80. UConn thumped St. John 72-40. And Nebraska beat Maryland 74-61. All right, fellas, thanks for joining. I know this was a little bit different episode. We honored my brother at the start. He is the composer of the Trick or Trap music that you hear for our theme song in the breaks and at the end. We honored him. His birthday is on this March 2nd, so we just kind of did a little thing for him. Yates, give us your brand shout out one last time and tell the people where they can get it.
All right. Make your way out to Allen, Texas. Get to Armor Brewing, okay? And then go see this really cool can they got. Yeah, I got the little Viking staring out into the sky. This is their ironwood Finnish style farmhouse beer. It's an 8-pointer, delicious. Plus, they got great food. The burger, I'd get it.
All right. And Casey, what kind of nonsense are you dribbling over there?
I've just been sipping on water, man. Just trying to keep my throat hydrated. Oh,
it's all right. You'll get through it. You'll get back on the drinking path eventually.
hey, I'm still living.
All right, Josh, what you got on the table?
We got the Voodoo Ranger from New Belgium Brewing Company out of Fort Collins, Colorado. And Sam, I got to do one quick shout out to a family I met this week at the Twin Falls High School basketball game. And I think we'll all appreciate this. Got chatting with a new family, and their son, who is a sophomore in college, has been working his butt off in photography and has worked his way up to get some credential status with Idaho State.
Nice.
His name is Dallin Billings, 208_captures on Instagram. Go follow him. He's actually potentially going to get some Mountain West credentials for the Mountain West tournament. Really cool to see a young kid, entrepreneurial, just working nonstop to make his craft better. So there's my shout out for the night.
All right. Good job. Congratulations on all of your success. All right, Dominic, what you got?
Well, shout out to Adam. We went with the Miller Lite tonight, as you can see on the TikTok screen over here, but I also had a secondary one that swapped out. Both bottles are empty, so I know everyone's proud of me for that one. But yeah, I mean, if you want more Sunbelt specific coverage, we're going to be going live tomorrow night to talk about that tournament a little bit more in depth with Mr. Zach Capps on the Sunbelt side of things. And we are Sunbelt Syndicate on pretty much every social platform you can think of. So
sweet. All right. And I, of course, Pop had a Miller Lite as well. I've got the Hopadillo IPA. Pretty little cool can, little armadillo thingy over there. TikTok, there you go. You can see it. There we are. This is from the Carbach Brewing Company in Houston. He lurks in the shadows, waiting in bold anticipation. He's surprisingly bitter about something. Legend has it that he feasts on those with fresh hops coursing through their veins. This dry hopped Texas IPA has a flavor as defined as the Hopadillo himself. It's packed with the bracing bitterness of hops from around the world that this creature craves. He's coming to get you. you've been warned. And that's the Hopadillo guy right there.
Was that your biography, or was that on the can? I don't know what you were reading.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Bourbon Beer and Basketball.
If you don't see me next week, you know that he got me. All right. And if you guys want to deep dive into the Mountain West Conference as well, we are going to be live tomorrow night, Nick and I, for Bronco Nation updates. We will be covering all of Bronco sports, and we do have a new show, Bronco Nation Updates Overtime. It releases, it's just a recorded show, it's not live, but we dive deeper into some of the more complex stories of the week, and that gets released to the Bronco Nation Updates Facebook group, YouTube, and everywhere else on Friday morning at 7 o'clock hour. I will say this, shout out to the Boise State esports team. Last night, they got win number 1,600. 1,600 wins for esports. Whew. One of the best in the country to do it. Doc Haskell, the head coach there, has really put Boise State on the map and really been a front runner. Boise State plays esports in the Mountain West Conference and the PEC on the national level. And April, I don't know the dates. Sometime in April, I'll have to get the dates for you guys. We will have the national championship will be played in Las Vegas. So Boise State will be a part of that. We will have somebody, I don't know who yet, but we will have somebody on the esports team on tomorrow night. It may be Riley, the comms director, but we're going to try and get somebody. He's trying to work on that for us. But if that's something you're interested in or something your kids are interested in, tune in tomorrow night right here, Bronco Nation Updates YouTube, and we'll get you there. Fellas, thank you for joining me tonight. Nick, from I guess you're watching from somewhere, maybe. He kind of shut us out. But hey, it's all right. We're back. We made it back. Nick, thanks for giving us your conference breakdown live from the women's basketball team, who fell just short tonight, 64-66 to first place San Diego State. But hey, you know what? You can't win them all. We'll get them in the conference tournament. For everyone here, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week, same place, right here, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, God's time. And we'll see y'all next week. Remember, next week we're going to be talking tournaments. We'll be right smack dab in the middle of conference tournaments this time next week, and we'll be looking ahead at who's going to get into the big dance and who's going to the lesser known, or not lesser, CBI and the Crown Tournament. So join us next week. Give us your hot takes. Tell us what you're drinking, and we will see you next week.